If your body never leaves phase 2, you will never burn fat. And most people are stuck there for years. They try diets, they cut calories, they exercise more, and still nothing moves. The weight stays, the energy drops, the frustration builds, not because they lack discipline, but because their body is stuck in the wrong fuel system. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's happening inside your body when you transition from burning sugar to burning fat. There are 5 distinct phases your body goes through, 5 stages that determine whether you store fat or finally start using it. In this video, we're going to focus on the first 2 phases, because if you don't understand these, the rest will never work. This understanding comes from long fasting studies, including patients who fasted for extended periods. What we learned from those studies is simple. The body does not switch fuels randomly. It follows a sequence. And if you interrupt that sequence, you stay stuck. Let's begin with phase 1. Phase 1 is where almost everyone lives. Every time you eat, you enter phase 1. Your body takes the food you just consumed, breaks it down into glucose, and floods your bloodstream with sugar. That sugar becomes your primary fuel. Your brain uses it, your muscles use it. Every cell in your body runs on that incoming glucose. For the next few hours, your body is busy burning that fuel. This phase typically lasts anywhere from 0 to 4 hours after eating. But here's the problem. Most people never leave it, because before those 4 hours are up, they eat again, a snack, a drink, a small bite, something sweet. And the moment they do that, phase 1 starts over. So instead of progressing forward, their body resets. Again and again, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, sometimes more. Their body becomes completely dependent on incoming sugar. And when that sugar starts to drop, they feel it: hunger, cravings, irritability, low energy. That's not because their body is broken. It's because it never learned how to access anything else. Now let's look at what's actually happening during this phase. Right after eating, your glucose levels spike. Your body responds by releasing insulin. Insulin's job is to move that sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells, but it also does something else. It locks your fat cells. As long as insulin is elevated, your body cannot access stored fat. So even if you have plenty of energy stored, your body can't use it. It's like having a full tank of fuel, but the tank is locked. So phase 1 is not just about burning sugar. It's about being trapped in sugar dependence. Now let's move to phase 2. Phase 2 begins when the glucose from your last meal is gone. Your body looks around and says, "Where do I get energy now?" And the fastest answer is your liver. Your liver stores sugar in the form of glycogen. Think of it as your short-term backup tank. It's designed to be used quickly. So your body starts pulling glucose out of the liver and releasing it into the bloodstream. This keeps your brain and body running. At this point, you are no longer using incoming food. You are using stored energy, but it's still sugar. You haven't switched to fat yet. You are still in the glucose system. Now here's where things get interesting. How long you stay in phase 2 depends on one thing: how full your liver is. And most people have never thought about that. Your liver is not fixed in size. It adapts. If you've spent years eating high amounts of carbohydrates, your liver has been working overtime, storing sugar, processing sugar, managing excess. And in response, it grows, not dramatically overnight, but gradually over time. This is what we call a fatty liver. It's not just fat sitting there. It's a sign that your liver has been overloaded with fuel for years. So when you enter phase 2, your body starts emptying that liver. But if your liver is large and full, that process takes longer. For some people, it takes overnight. For others, it takes days. And for those with significant metabolic damage, it can take much longer. This is why 2 people can follow the same plan and get completely different results. One person empties their liver quickly and moves on. The other stays stuck, burning stored sugar, unable to reach fat. Now let's talk about a powerful indicator: morning fasting blood sugar. When you wake up, your blood sugar tells a story. It tells you whether your liver emptied or not. If your morning sugar is between 70 and 85, your liver is likely empty. You made it through phase 2. You are ready to move forward. But if your morning sugar is 100, 110, 120, your liver is still full. You never finished phase 2. And if that number is consistently high, you are moving toward diabetes. That's not a future problem. That's a current signal. Your body is telling you it cannot clear its stored sugar. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They try to fix this by eating less or by adding exercise, but they ignore the real issue. They are still feeding the system that keeps the liver full. High carbohydrates, frequent eating, and one of the biggest hidden problems, artificial sweeteners. This is where things become very subtle. Many people think they are doing the right thing. They cut sugar. They switch to diet drinks, sugar-free snacks, low-calorie sweeteners, but their body doesn't see it that way. Their brain tastes sweetness, and their system responds. Insulin rises, even without real sugar. And once insulin rises, fat stays locked. So they stay in phase 2. Not because they are eating too much, but because their body is being signaled to store instead of release. I see this pattern all the time. Patients come in and say, I'm doing everything right. I'm not eating much. I'm following the plan. But their morning sugars are still high. Their weight is stuck. Their energy is inconsistent. And when we look deeper, we find small triggers. Sweeteners, frequent snacks, hidden carbs, things that keep resetting the system. So they never reach the next phase. They never access fat. They stay trapped, burning sugar over and over again. Now understand this clearly. Phase 2 is not failure. It is necessary. You must go through it, but you must also finish it. And that requires giving your body enough time and the right conditions. Time without constant feeding, low enough carbohydrates, so the liver is not refilled, and consistency so the system can adapt. Once the liver is empty, everything changes. That's when your body finally has to make a decision. It can't rely on incoming food. It can't rely on stored sugar. So it turns to the one source that has been waiting the entire time: fat. That transition is what we call fat adaptation. But it only happens after phase 2 is complete. And that's why most people never get there. They don't stay long enough. They don't remove the triggers. They don't understand the sequence. So they think the system doesn't work, when in reality, they never reach the point where it begins to work. If you feel stuck, if your weight isn't moving, if your energy depends on constant eating, there is a very high chance you are still in phase 2. Your body is not broken. It is following a process, but that process has been interrupted. Your job is not to force results. Your job is to allow the process to complete. That means fewer interruptions, fewer signals to store, more time between meals, and awareness of what keeps resetting your system. When you do that, your body does the rest. It moves forward. It adapts. It unlocks energy that has been stored for years. But it only happens when you finish phase 2. In the next part, we'll go deeper into what happens after this point, when your body finally switches fuels, when fat becomes the primary source, and what that means for your energy, your brain, and your metabolism. I'm Dr. Sean Dozbo, and now you understand why most people never reach fat burning, because they never leave phase 2.